let's get straight to it. Bill and Ted Face the Music. So it was directed by a guy named Dean Parasot. Didn't really recognise the name, but he's the guy who did Galaxy Quest. So there you go. He's got a bit of a pedigree directing comedy flicks, which is something that Pete Hewitt, the director of Bogus Journey, didn't have. So Dean has that in common with Stephen Herrick. They're both adept at filming comedy, as it were. So right away, you can tell when this movie starts, all right, they've captured the tone more of the first movie than the second. Whew. Thank goodness for that. Now, the movie's written, of course, by Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon. Now, they also did the first two movies. They're the creators of the series. And I really liked their script. I didn't read the script. I really liked the writing in this movie. It felt like they had time to write it. A long time. And it might be true. They've had a lot of time to work on the third Bill and Ted movie. And I think it shows in a good way. This movie doesn't gloss over things as much as the first two. It explains things a little clearer, a little better. It also manages to juggle fan service with recurring ideas and themes from the previous two, as well as making something fun. And whilst it doesn't break through and try too hard to be its own thing, it's quite happy being a fun nostalgia piece. So we've got quite a few people in this one. We've got Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, of course, as Bill and Ted. We've got Samara Weaving and Bridget Lundy Payne. They play Bill and Ted's daughters. We've got William Sadler as Death. Anthony Carrigan, oh my God, Anthony Carrigan as Dennis, Caleb McCoy, and Kristen Schaal as Kelly. I like the name Kelly. George Carlin's daughter in real life is named Kelly. So there you go. That's a nice little nod to good old Rufus right there. I was very appreciative of that. And out of all the actors in this movie, I think it's Anthony Carrigan who steals the show. If you've never heard of him, you should watch a show called Barry. He plays a character on Barry, and I just refer to him as the King of Suckballs Mountain, because that's what he is in Barry. He steals the show for me in this. I'm not going to tell you anything about him except his name's Dennis. He's fucking fantastic and just hilarious stuff. Yeah, watch out for him. Actually, don't. You might not recognize him. Oh well. So I feel like there is more things in this movie that work, at least for me and my wife. I watched this with her. That don't work. In fact, I couldn't really think of much that didn't really work for me. It can be a tad predictable in places. I won't spell out how because I don't want to spoil this movie. But the predictions I made that came true, they weren't anything groundbreaking or whatever like that. You can't expect a movie like this to break the mold and become this super gigantic masterpiece. It's not trying to do that. It's trying to give you a bit more of the same, just remixed, and it does that really well. In fact, it does it a lot better than the second film. I found the second film had a good start and a good end, and everything in the middle kind of dull. There's never a dull moment in this one. There's always interesting things going on. You've got Bill and Ted going on their adventures. You've got the princesses played by two different actors, again, doing their own thing, as well as Bill and Ted's daughters, and it all kind of converges from there. Now, just like the first two movies, I think this movie has a good start and a great ending. But the middle's really good too. In fact, I had my expectations low after Bogus Journey, and they were lifted. Actually, I was kind of blown away just how much I enjoyed this movie. It was 90 minutes like the first two. Usually when they do a new movie on an old franchise, they'll fucking, here you go, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and they just overload it with too much. No, you just had the right amount of everything. And I think Weaving and Lundy Payne, who play Bill and Ted's daughters, they act sort of like Bill and Ted, but they don't go full on in parody mode, and they're a little smarter than their dads anyway. They kind of take after their mothers. As for Keanu and Alex themselves as Bill and Ted, I think they're great. Ted's a little angrier in this one, but still very in keeping with the character. He's great, and Alex Winter's Bill, ever the optimist, always with some kind of goofy smile on his face in the most dire of circumstances. And it was a joy. You know, this movie has a lot of characters in it, but this movie never forgets that it's a Bill and Ted movie. So we get a lot of Bill and Ted. William Sadler, actually, I liked him better in this, because I thought he was great in Bogus Journey, but I didn't like his dialogue all that much. So he worked with what he had there. What he's given here is a lot better. So yeah, I'm surprised how well thought out this movie was from beginning to end. It felt like they took the time to make this special, and it was special. The first two movies, especially the first one, I think you're going to find something to really enjoy here. By the end of the movie, my wife and I had smiles on our faces. And what more do you want from 90 minutes of entertainment? I give it a 7 out of 10. Track it down. Watch it. You know, if you've got a strong affinity for the old movies, this movie's not going to piss you off. It's not going to pull a Star Wars, you know, or anything like that. It's a good return. Think Ash vs. Evil Dead kind of thing. You know, that had a long gap in between productions as well. But when it came back as a TV show, it was fucking awesome. So yeah, thoroughly impressed. I didn't expect to like this movie that much. In fact, I don't do half ratings, but it's a strong 7. 7.5, so you could say. So I don't know if it might be a little recency effect or something like that. But you know what? It is what it is. I think this is a movie I'll watch a few times, just like I did the original. If you like, dislike, share, and subscribe. Follow me on the Twitter, all that crap. Watch this movie. It's really solid. You can't go wrong. And let's stick the thing up. Oh God, people complaining that the song at the end wasn't the fucking best song of all time. Shut the fuck up.